He also taught at Antioch, back when Antioch was in the Marina, which was some time ago. So please join me in welcoming back to Antioch, the Antioch stage, Eric Priestley.
Come on, good Lord. Yeah, I feel like this is the Inquisition or something. Yeah. Can't see no way. Damn. Old as dirt. So, Watts Writers Workshop, yeah. The late Budd Schulberg. You know, I was in China when Budd died in 2009, and everybody always asks me about, you know, Budd, but they never ask about the patrons of the Watts Riots Workshop. James Baldwin was a patron. Robert Kennedy was a patron. Harding Carter, John Steinbeck, Richard Burton, Marlon Brando. Of course, you know, all these people supported Budd financially to, you know, get the writers together. In 1965, when 34 people were killed and $44 million worth of property was destroyed, and Budd came to Watts alone and unarmed, and he got a lot of, I mean, he had a lot of nerve. I wouldn't have done that. He put a sign up saying anybody wants to write, you know, come with me. So, you know, I had a friend, Johnny Scott. We were in college together, and he said, "Rick, you know, there's Budd Schulberg's in the West." I said, "Budd who?" He said, "Schulberg." I said, "No, man, Budd Schulberg wrote on the waterfront." He said, "Well, that's the guy that's down there with the sign up saying to come." I said, "He's in Watts now?" I mean, really, I was there. You know, I walked down the street when they were, you know, when the riot was going on. Actually saw people die. And anyway, the black experience and learning to use writing as catharsis, you know, to vent our aggression came out of that workshop. But to, you know, to talk about Black History Month and to be honored to come and speak is something that it's really beyond me, you know, because I was in China for 3 years, 2008 through 2011, and the first people I saw when I got back in the audience today, my teacher, Anselm Levine, Dr. Anselm Levine, who is a Jungian clinical psychologist, and I'm very happy to have gotten back to the United States, because quiet as kept, this is the best country in the world. It may not seem like it, and you won't understand it until you go outside these borders. See, then, you're not black anymore. You're not white, you're not brown, you're not red, you're not a purple people eater, you're an American. And when they take your passport from you, they're not looking at all of that. See, all they see is America. And right now, Linda tells me that we have a lunatic in the White House. I didn't even know we had a president. I thought it was a rumor. But, you know, I get a call from Stanley Crouch telling me 12 o'clock in the morning, telling me, "Man, you're not going to believe what he's done now." He's in New York, right? He's calling me. I said, "What are you talking about? I'm trying to get some sleep." "No, you're not going to believe this. He put the Boston Globe, the New York Times, and you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it." I said, "What?" "The Washington Post." out of the White House. I said, man, wait a minute. Has this guy read the Constitution at all? No. I mean, something's wrong. Something's seriously wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to get off into that diversion of politics. I'm just going to read in honor of a member of the Watts Writers Workshop who I learned on my way over here, just died yesterday, David Harris. And the anthem for the Watts Writers Workshop was this piece that was written by a man named Melvin Tolson. Now, he, Aaron, was a poet. He wrote the Harlem Gallery. And all of the writers had, I say it's an anthem because all of the writers worth their salt in that workshop knew this piece. So I'm going to read that first in honor of David and in honor of the person who wrote it, Melvin Bonerus Tolson from the Harlem Gallery. He took the Greek alphabet and each letter becomes a poem. So I'm going to read from Alpha. The Harlem Gallery. An Afrique pepper bird awakes me at a people's dusk of dawn, and the age alters its image. A dog's hind leg and hazards the moment of truth in pawn. The lord of the house of flies, jaundiced eyes, synapses pearl, rise before the tumultuous canvas. The 2nd of May by Goya, the dagger of Madrid versus the scimitar of Murat in Africa and Asia on the day of barricades. Alarm birds bedevil the great white world, a Buridan's ass, and not Balaam's between no oats and hay. Sometimes Orosius as tragedian, sometimes a keen as clown, without Sir Henry's flap to shield my neck. I travel from oasis to oasis, man's Saharic up and down, as a Hambletonian gathers his legs for a leap. Dead wool and fleece wool I've mustered up with hands, now warm or cold, a full rich Indies cargo. But often I hear the dry husk of locust blues descend the tone ladder of a laughing goose syncopating between the faggot and the noose. Black boy, oh black boy, is the poet worth the cruise? Like the lice and maggots of the apples of Cain on a strawberry tree, the myth of the Afro-American past exacts the parasite's fee. Sometimes the spirit wears away in the dust bowl of abuse. Like the candied flesh of the barrel cactus, which the unpitying pitch of a panhandle wind leaves with unpalatable juice. Although the gaffing tootie of the gadfly girds the I-ness of my humanness and my Negroness, the clockbird jackass laughter in sun, in rain, at dusk of dawn, mixes with the pepperbird's revelry in my brain, where the plain is twilled and the twilled is plain. Now that's a poet. See, that's a poet. Okay. Now I, on the other hand, I had this piece that was published in this book. You can't find this book anywhere. It's called Gypsy Poem. This was published in, I think it was 96. This piece called Chameleon, and it comes up again and again. It won't go away. People want to republish it. Anyway, Chameleon is about the humanity of a person of color who is actually a human being, okay? Because we're all human beings. We all got, 46 chromosomes, 22 pairs, and one pair, X and Y determines whether you're male or female, but 46 chromosomes is the general number. And this piece called Chameleon is about that common ground. 10. Raised to the power minus 43 seconds ago, 16 billion Big Bang years of sunset since Eastern Stardust time. 4 was a cell, a clam, a crayfish. 4 was a frog, a turtle, duckbill, dodo bird, a platypus, a dragonfly, a pollywog. And 4 was a heron shy, a swallow full of sky, a trilobite, a fire spark, a meadow lark, a grain of sand that grew into a stone, a breath of air. And 4 was a bone, I was a shadow. A proto-sopo-rifa-rasa, lenta-rata, plato-menti, asco-menti, macanyoda, mollusca, nilla, doi, anthropodo, integumenta, data. Remember me, my flag, if purple flowers fly, forget me not my color. And 4 was a bone, I was a shadow. Dangling chromosomes of genus, Oh, swarthy Ethiopia, recall my own Aunt Lucy. Quand nous sommes 1874, down Ape Egyptopithecus, skull intact 2 million years ago, sharper than mosquitoes, Peter's 32 teeth in my syntax. One prospecting bone jumping sapien, they never got it right, but called us by another name when no tail grew, 30,000 years of snow would go. Dukun dig nop, rag mop, Rastapanjid, missing link, Bigfoot, Yeni shot dice on the gene splice, and Neanderthal, frostbite, feet froze off ice age, stone flex, come the Peking man. Then dropped like fire sticks grew me and you, and all the shades of them. No one has seen them since, and cock dice don't roll. Still, Aunt Lucy says to say hello. Eyeball, I'm here to testify, a sapien, a soul survivor, sweet Aunt Lucy's kin. Come not you, your Aunt Lucy. Come not she, your Aunt Lucy, too. What solar system sky? Please tell me who, or what by how, or whence from where do your ancestors fly? Whose jaws with skulls, the carbon-dated bones back when? You see, my friend, we are the spawn of solas. No count tribes whose thoughts grew out of grunts, old nods, hand jive, and screams. No word odd signs in girdling tones, the bread defined, the mantra said, yo ki yi ring ho yo mi nam. Our silence sings the dream time to the Gaga Jew, griot, hearing aid, sangria, gungun, great uncle Juju Bushman, kindle fire, gathered roots, his horse who rides me still up the mountain down the Belladonna shade, of 1,000,005 ago in ashes, when no-name mamas announced us kin to cousin Twang's child. Petrified like Magnus whirls the garnet gleams of snowball stone where once I lay chameleon raw. Preserved in time a lump of coal, my jelly shook in oyster shells, the progeny of apple cores, because 4 was a cell, a clam, a crayfish. 4 was a frog, a turtle, duckbill, dodo bird, a platypus, a dragonfly, a pollywog, a trilobite, a heron shy, a meadow lark, a cyanogenic drop of rain, a fire spark. 4 was a grain of sand that grew into a stone, a breath of air. And 4 was a bone, I was a shadow. A proto-zopo-rifa-rasa, lenta-rata, plato-menti, asca-menti, macanyoda, mollusca, nilla-dor, anthropodo, tegumenta-rico, data, mollusca-do, tegumenta-ri, mollusca-do, integumenta-rico, data, and 4 I was a bone, I was a shadow. Forget me not my color. 4 was a bone, I was a shadow. See, that's not, to me, that's not poetry. That's just some lineage stuff, okay? But but I'm not gonna read anymore. I'm tired, okay? Thank you for having me. Bye.
That's right. That was not a poem. No. I just want to say, Eric, I just love Eric because he just reminds me, as many good, great writers remind me, as all of us readers here reminded me, you got to have fun with this. It's got to sing.